Let's have a quick check of the inspection board before we go inside. So, it's a busy inspection board. We have a lot of chalk brood, which is, I suspect, them clearing out the old frames. It's centred around the middle. There's no fondant on this one, is there?
That would dictate there is fondant on.
Yeah. There is an enormous amount of pollen.
And something I'm seeing all around here.
We have wax platelets, we have uncappings, which means there's some brood coming out. Plenty of pollen, brown, with a bit of actually the uncappings on the outer frames, so that store's been taken.
And this is one of the reasons we're going in today, because we suspect this hive is expanding, but we can be proved wrong. No problem at all. No worry.
Not sure what these black dots are.
Let's hope it's not wax moth frass. Frass is wax moth poo. It's the same colour as that, but I do suspect it could be cleaning out, or the maybe chalk brood larvae getting broken up and disposed of. As you see, chalk brood can go pretty black.
At the moment, can't see any varroa.
We didn't expect varroa. We treated twice this last year and this year. The usual 8 weeks with the strips and a sublimation in December. So let's go in.
We do have fondant on this one, and there's about a sixth of the fondant is left. And as you can see, it's a very busy hive, and they are active over all 11 frames. Very easy to observe when you've got a clear crown board on top.
So I think we should give a little puff in the corner, just to knock them down a little bit. Not too much, obviously. We've not puffed any in the front, because that would just dry them up. Crack it, and we puff the smoke in. As you can see, they're actually clear quite well. See them moving across.
So this hasn't been opened this year, so it's obviously very sticky with propolis.
And I don't see the queen. There, we've got the dummy board at this side. You see it's well propelized up, which can be difficult to remove. I'll just remind Dave, we have got a hole in the centre here to stick your J-tool in. There we go. So what has happened here? The wax has been denuded for some reason or other. I think we could shake that off and put a new frame in.
Could do.
You see what Dave's doing? He was looking at the dark side first.
There's stores, lots and lots of pollen. Every other cell is full of pollen and new nectar coming in.
How do you know it's new nectar?
It's glistening, it's uncapped,
There you go.
and it's in cells that are not to the outsides. So that's quite a full hive. You get the smoker. Absolutely ram-packed with fresh yellow pollen, nectar on the side, and a bit of capped honey.
Cap stores. So I think from what I see here, we can take that 1 kilogram of fondant we had on off, because they're bringing in lots of stores.
Interesting distribution of pollen on these two frames. So they're busy, but they're not aggressive, quite passive.
And here we come. Here we are.
We have a nice patch of sealed brood.
You want to lay it flat over that,
And
so
there's
we
some
can,
open larvae.
so we can just see, not just lay it just flat like that. You see the seal brood, and we're looking for, we'll probably have eggs at the very edge.
Well, I can't see them, but I can see larvae.
Good.
Which is just about ready to be capped. But seem very placid. They're packing the nectar in here. If you can see them,
Yeah.
they've got their heads down.
Obviously we don't have to necessarily see the queen.
We are seeing
Have plenty of evidence of her.
fresh larvae. Lovely.
Nice cool smoke. Please note how Dave lifted that up. He lifted it up absolutely straight up, so there's no bees getting brushed off.
Can't see any disease like deformed wing, so that's like a young bee there. So again, sealed brood. Very placid. They seem very quiet. I have, sealed brood, I have young larvae, and I have eggs inside, and beyond that I've got fresh pollen. So exactly what you would hope to see in your first inspection. I'm not going to shake these off because we've seen all we need to see that's there.
So far that's 2 frames of brood.
Is that drone?
Yes,
Is
yes,
that drone brood coming up?
yes.
There's a slight mound there which
See
sort
here?
of hints that drones are beginning to be produced.
That's a whole collection of drones there in large cells. So that's an appropriate drone laying area. It's not a laying worker in one of these other cells. This is appropriate because all the cells are really big. In fact, I'm going to hold it up towards the camera, Dave, up here. You see that? That's perfect. There's the queen there.
Packed, though, isn't it? I mean, this is the sort of thing you'd see a little later on in the year.
So this investigation was to see if we were going to put a super on.
Which might seem a bit early in the year, but this does seem to be bursting.
We identified this as a very busy hive that may need a super on, and I think what we've seen is, yes, I think we're going to put a super on. So we've got a super ready.
The reason we identified it was because we had a clear crown board and we were seeing the bees over the full width of the hive. Again, they've got brood at all stages.
And a couple of drones up here.
So the fact we're seeing drones... Queen. Got the queen there. No. Put your finger up. There.
Oh, there she is. There she is.
Marked red or orange.
Just here.
As we mark all our queens.
A nice queen. Yes, very nice. Nice to see that. Fantastic. Absolutely. Well, we knew she was there with all the evidence. Now we've got a choice to make. We are going to put a super on this.
I think we need to put something on because they are quite big for this time of year. I know we're in that period where bees die off before the new ones, but we are seeing, I mean, we're up to 1, 2, 3, 4 frames of sealed brood, 5 frames of sealed brood, and a lot of it. All stages, and pollen. The amount of pollen we're seeing in this hive shows they've been very active in the few days we've had of good weather.
I suspect one side of this won't have brood. This side won't have brood. And I was correct. We've got 5 frames of brood, which is, in a healthy hive, I think that's what you'd expect this time of year. A developing hive, that's what you'd expect. She may have eggs on that side, on the side you're looking at.
Not really seeing a lot of...
Can I have a wee peek?
Eggs, lots of eggs in there. I don't know about that side there. Definitely on this side there's eggs in the middle.
Absolutely.
So
And
she's filling the whole frames out.
And I suspect no eggs on this side. I'll just have a wee... And eggs on this side too. Yes.
So that's...
Do we need to go any further? I don't think so.
Well, I would check to see whether we got eggs in there.
All right.
If we've got eggs there, has she ventured all the way over? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5 of brood, 6 of eggs. I'm looking at that.
No, there's none.
There's a lot of bees on it.
Yes.
It's a very, very busy hive. And it's going to get busier.
Yep.
So we're protecting the queen.
I'm going to get a frame for here.
Okay.
Now, why did the bees do that? I have no idea. but what I see here is capped cells, and that's just empty cells. They've obviously taken it from the other side.
Okay.
There's some new frames in here at the end, and some very clean old frames which were acetic acid over the winter. That's okay, they'll patch that up, no problem at all. There's some nice clean frames, stored very well indeed, extracted last year around about August, dried off and put in acetic acid for a week, and then fumigated for a week, and then wrapped up in seal bags. And as you've seen, they're starting to investigate it already. They're starting to come up already. And what I've just noticed, this frame here, because of the side lugs, is unwired foundation, not good for extracting. So I may run into the hut and get one to replace that. And we've got a new wired one here to replace it. So which one was it? This one? That's it. And we will still keep the eek on and the insulation. No, we don't need it.
So we picked a really warm day with the sun out, and we picked the time of day, which is just after midday, when we thought at least a third of the bees would be out and foraging, to inspect the first hive of our apiary this year. We picked the busiest hive, the one that we could see through the clear crown board, that was the bees were over all 11 frames, and so to have a good inspection. The inspection was incredibly successful. We saw everything. We saw the queen, we saw eggs, we saw larvae, we saw capped brood, we saw pollen, and we saw some fresh nectar coming in. So